Happy upcoming weekend, everybody. Today is November 20th, and welcome to the week in Marvel Avengers Alliance here on G4G on YouTube. So, we are entering the last weekend of PvP Season 25. And today's background music is brought to you by the Axiom Verge OST. Axiom Verge is a Metroid-esque game that is available on Steam. Real fun game. Check it out. Really enjoyable. Plays a lot like the old Metroids, and it's not too expensive. So, I'm sitting at about 1865, which is around where I want to be. I mean, about 1850 is where I'd like to go. I could probably push further. I could probably even push into the 1950 range. But I'm happy about here, because honestly, to me, it's about getting all the prizes rather than the rank. So I switched my defensive team up a little bit. Mostly because the results seem to be the same no matter what I do, which is about like 1 to 2 victories, 4 to 5 losses. Right now I have the Bruiser Agent with the Elite ISO, the Hugins Eye, the Cosmic Cardinal, the Scroll of Rudamaroth, the Asgardian Tankard, and the Lunacy. I have Hogun with his special ISO that allows him to do Warlord, which is basically the Warbringer, similar to Hulk, and X-23. He also has the Scrapper PvP ISO. On his actions, he has Wide Open, Steely Stare, his special A ISO, which makes it available every round and available on the first round, Manifesting, and Meteor Smash. I should put Blessing over here, which could be pretty helpful, but that one blessing that I have is attached to my Hafe, and I don't want to steal it from him. The way that I figure is that the scroll is going to make everybody immune to clearing their debuffs, and he's going to be able to flank and fumble everybody there. Rattling is going to increase the damage of follow-ups and counters, so that every time somebody attacks, Rattle taking extra damage from counters and follow-ups. To me, it certainly works good on paper. The bow shot that he does, any follow-ups that he does, if he counterattacks somebody thanks to being an infiltrator, to me it seems like it works. The Lunacy is here so that everybody is losing stamina, and the fact that with most defensive actions not being subtle, these two should be able to really wreck face. Now, my Age is not going to do a whole lot each turn on the offensive, but he may add in with the Cosmic Cardinal, and this will force the spamming of the Lunacy. He also should be able to keep him and Hogun clear of debuffs when needed. I'm just basically relying on these two to get the job done, and he's support. We'll see how it works out. I don't really know. Offense is still exactly the way that it's been for me. So we have a sale again on the Mystic. The Mystic is up for sale, and it's 64 gold. Now, some people have wondered, is this worth 64 gold? Well, honestly, if you just recently did the gold sale and have the Lantern of Doom, you may find the Mystic doesn't have as much value to you. Obsolete tech is not downgrade. Obsolete tech can be prevented by immunity, and it can be cleared. Bane is pretty solid. There are a lot of things going on now with magic. There are a lot of things that are going off of Bane, including that Channeling Glove from the Spec Ops. So that is pretty solid. You may find that the Lantern of Doom is, of course, more robust, but that also can work as a hindrance. If you were to slot that defensively on PvP, it may foul up your strategy if you're burning quick actions by using the Lantern when all you really wanted it for was the Mystic Shroud. The Mystic stands the test of time. If you do not have the Mystic, you do want to get this for 64 gold. Obviously, just hands down. The Scroll of Rudamaroth has made a huge splash in PvP since it was recently resold, and I'm seeing it way more often than I did, and in conjunction with the Lunacy, it is extremely good. Now, people often douche out with some mega shitty defenses over there, where they go with like the Broken Black Knight and the Scroll and the Lunacy and everything like that. My defense has bounced around for a little while. I had been running an Emma with the pre-fire ISO at level 15. Personally, I hate her when I see her with the scroll and everything like that, because I basically have to tiptoe around her. And she's obnoxious when I have to run into her, so I kind of figured it would work on defense, but again, it's not like I'm winning more than I'm losing. So, as you know, we have the simulators up, and the simulators award phenomenal experience. If you do the level 3, you will go ahead and get 3,000 experience points. That is really, really good for those who have run into the bugged experience issues and have not been able to level too much. My Mordo's 10, my Kamala's 10, my A-Bomb is 11, and thanks to the Blaster Sim, my Elsa Bloodstone is sitting really pretty at this point in time. She's 7 going on 8, and that was all basically in like a day and a half. I got her to 6 by the time I went to bed on the first day. I got her thanks to those Blaster Sims. The Blaster Sim is a lot of fun, and if you don't like who you see when you drop into it, just exit out like I did and go back in. The one that I typically pick is the one with Magneto and Toad, the exoskeleton armor, and Sabin. That's the one that I typically pick. I have brought Invisible Woman, Carolina Dean, and Elsa Bloodstone when I do the Blaster one. Mostly because, you know, I was obviously leveling Elsa, and the Invisible Woman with the air pressure ISO keeps the team very healthy, and those force fields work well. Carolina's shield works very well too, plus Magneto gives her stacks, so it works out pretty well. I would suggest bringing Havoc to try to keep people exhausted, plus he has, you know, knockout potential. So for me, the simulator is phenomenal. When you first go through one of them, what will happen is that it will not consume simulator points. But when you replay them, it actually will. So I'm going to try one of these for the first time here, and typically the early ones, I wonder if Hawkeye is available for me right now, because that would be fun. He's capped, unfortunately. But when you go through these, the first time you go through them will not consume your actual simulator points, which is really good. But when you replay them, it will. And you can replay any of the ones that you want. So if you just need a little bit of experience, you can hit up the lower ones, and you'll be fine. Now, this is my first time doing the Tactician one, and I can tell you we are going to have an absolute blast with this. Now, as you notice, like the later ones, they will give you people who will run counter to you, so I would expect the Tactician ones later on will start featuring infiltrators. That isn't to say you cannot cheese these simulators and bring class changers. You know, you can bring Vision to the Blaster one, and if there's an enemy Tactician, switch him over to his infiltrator mode. And as you can see, Kate is still broken with her boomerang shot. It is clearly not happening at all, which it's fucking crazy that these bugs exist in this game that have been around so long. I mean, for how long has Kate been broken? And we don't get her fixed. So you see here, you'll get done, and I mean that's pretty decent experience for fighting one mob. Now if I were to fight it again, it would chew up a sim point. I do believe I've heard that sim points are now recharging on the 8-hour mark, but I'm not exactly too sure if that's true. I haven't tested it yet. And that's pretty much what we've got going for today. It is the last weekend of PvP, so I would certainly expect there to be some crazy shenanigans for sure. I did get into the Overwatch beta, so I've already done my PvP today. Unfortunately, I will not be broadcasting those to Twitch, but I will certainly be doing the Overwatch beta on Twitch. And how that fares throughout the weekend, I don't know. I will definitely try to find time to broadcast some of my PvP, but it is going to be tough, as I'm likely just going to log in, see what I need to do for PvP, immediately counter it, and go. But I'll see if I can work it out. So that's pretty much it for the week in Marvel Avengers Alliance. We had Elsa drop, and she's so good. I think she runs counter to just about every piece of the popular meta right now, especially if you give her the lunacy. Let's talk about what she counters over here, because it's huge, I think. The big key is when she uses her tea time, and she uses tea time. By placing Hunter's Mark on somebody, every single thing that they do, she counters. And you can see this so clearly in The Sims. If somebody were to buff themselves, she counters. If they attack, she counters. So she's actually really good not to exhaust a tactician. She can exhaust a tactician right here. But if you don't exhaust the tactician, then she pops them for 3 turns instead of 2, which is really good. If you use the lunacy to expose subtle action, she may as well be like Emma with the pre-fire ISO, the infiltrator covert ISO. She'll just attack and attack and attack the shit out of you. Quicksilver, Spitfire, they're extra turns. She's gonna attack. If Star-Lord were to give somebody an extra turn, she's going to attack. I mean, and that Hunter shot that she does is really, really strong. Her Blazing Boomstick also seemed to be pretty strong, although it would be nice if it was set up front by Bane first. And everything she does is magic, so she works off of Bane. She'd actually probably be good with the channeling glove, but she is just really, really good for a blaster. I'm not going to say she stands up to damage well, but the damage she does is good. And she may take over an Amazing Spider-Girl spot on some people's offensive team. Now that's a tall order, because ASG really works well in shutting people down with the Tangled Web. And she's, of course, plenty capable of killing somebody right to the face. Elsa is going to do a pretty good job, too. She brings you the very necessary exhaustion, and, she recharges to get health back, which is good. So if she is forced into no action by well, not a stun, but if she's forced into no action due to a tangled web or something like that, recharging with her is really, really solid. She restores a good amount of health, and she can also basically act as the generalist at level 15 and clear some of her debuffs when she recharges. Now that's obviously risky for defense, but that's pretty solid for offense if needed. I think we will see Elsa in PvP. I think we may even see her on defense if the enemy agent uses the lunacy, but we need to see how the AI works with her tea time. If she's smart and starts using the near fatal when people are low, like Rocks Fall on Star-Lord, she could be quite deadly. She's fun. She's strong. I like using her in the sim. I dropped that Hunter's Mark on somebody who's going to take multiple actions. Or like Toad, when Toad would counter with his frog's legs, she would pop them. She's really good. I really do like this one a lot, and I think she brings way more flair than Kamala. But I'm not going to shit on Kamala, because any new hero, in my book, is a good hero. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this week in Marvel Avengers Alliance. Happy pre-Turkey Day to us Americans. Happy Thanksgiving, guys, next week. And Next week's video will probably be a little late as I'll be out of town visiting the parents on the coast. But I may be able to generate it before Thanksgiving. We'll see if there's anything to talk about. So, take care everybody. Have a good one.